yes, after what Professor Shuman Mukhopadhyay spoke, I should speak a few words only. He actually spoke for all of us. But that's what he is. He's been my professor in college also. I've heard him many a times and oft doing his debate as a debater and so on. I can understand the plight of you young minds having to go through this, having to hear some 3-4 odd old hags coming up, speaking, giving gyans. Before I start up, I would like to start up with an exercise, and I want each one of you to cooperate with me. Can we put all our mobile phones away? No photographs, no texts, and I'll tell you why I'm doing this at the end of the session. All mobile phones away. I'm not doing this because I want you to listen to me. I might be speaking crap. I actually don't know what I'm going to talk. So firstly, I want to thank Federal Bank, Hey Shuman, for actually taking this initiative of doing this, and of course Bhavanipur Education Society. It is important. It is the call of the day. And it is the call of the day not to talk about India, but to talk about yourself. Because I believe if you are to talk about India, if you are to talk for India, before anything you have to know and learn and ought to talk about yourself. And that's so very important. In today's world, when our lives are being constructed, constricted, designed not by education, not by guidance of knowledge and spirit, but by politics and religion. This is what the country is leading to. And this is why India has to speak up. India has to speak up to live up to the glory of which Professor Mukhopadhyay has been talking so much about. All those glory of India has been spoken about by Rabindranath Tagore, by Shakespeare, by Ram Mohan Roy, by Vidyashagar, by Madhusudan. But are we living to that? Aren't we not getting frivolous as a nation? Frivolous human beings connected only to WhatsApps and social media. Where is our own interest of educating ourselves and our mind? We can only talk about others. We can only talk about the country if we educate ourselves and grow up to be responsible human beings. Are we doing that? What is it that was of the most immense importance that we learn? I think most of us out here, I'm speaking to the young minds, most of us have read Julius Caesar in our study when we're in our boards. Yes. So what is it about Mark Antony that we learn about his speech, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend you years? Is the art of speaking, oration. So when I was in my class 6, I had a prof teacher who used to every day come to this class and say, you know, Shakespeare is immense. You should come and read Shakespeare. And in class 6, Shakespeare. But then he used to come every day in the morning, enter the class and say, to thine own self be true. I remember it till today. And I have told that to my daughter. And I always believe in that. that it's important to do that. Such is the importance of knowledge and guidance. And such knowledge and guidance is becoming rarer by the day. Because of the immense competition, because of the cutthroat competition that we have to live, our parents. So there was this sit and rock competition that goes on in our complex, and it was happening the other day. And I just walked in and I saw that for every small child who was trying to draw, there's a father or a mother standing and giving instructions. Hey, lalta na, nilta, nilta. Hey, nilta na, shobujta, shobujta. For everything of life. If that is what you are going to do to the young minds, how are they going to grow? How are they going to know that sun can also be red, sun can also be violet? If you don't expect the surrealistic expanse of human mind, the ignition of knowledge in human mind, how is it are we going to talk about the country? Yes, indeed, India has and is the perfect example of not throttling any other democracy, any other country, and that's why perhaps it's one of the largest democracy in the world. But India is throttling its own democracy. That's the most saddest part. In a village in UP, at a village in Bihar or Bengal or Maharashtra, irrespective of politics I'm talking, have we seen the poverty? Have we seen the blind faith still practiced? We are talking about gender equality, but that's all in words. We have come far, we have really come far, but when we are talking about gender equality, it's mostly in words. Are we really prepared to give that space for a male, female, or another gender? Are we really, even today, Deepika Padukone earns much less than Shah Rukh Khan, despite the fact that she's also a superstar and Shah Rukh is also a superstar. It starts from there and goes out to every phase and profession of life in this country. Why is it that a lady CEO would get less money, less package than a man? These are the questions that ought to be raised. And to raise the questions, we ought to grow a spine. We ought to grow a spine, and we only can grow that spine if we are true to ourselves, if we are honest to ourselves. And that is why I asked the MC to shift this podium out here, because I don't want to turn my back to other eminent dignitaries. I would always like to face people in their eyes and speak what I see. And that's very important. If I have the courage and honesty and conviction of what I am talking and speaking, I will look into your eyes and speak. So I was talking about oration, oratory skills. It's not just debate. It's not just debate that this platform is promoting. This platform is promoting character building. That is exactly what the country needs. This country needs men and women of characters, of spines, of being patriots. It's not just enough to stand up to the national anthem and sing and be proud of the tricolor, but there is more that is calling. And what is calling is to be patriots, true patriots. You don't have to become a Sahid. You don't have to go out every day out on the road and protest. You don't have to stand up and say this is right and this is wrong every day. No. All that you need to do is give your 100% as a human being in everything that you do. So when you're listening, it's not because, you don't listen because you have been asked to listen. Listen because your mind is telling you to listen. Your heart is telling you to listen. So keep your mobile away. That is a trap of modern society. It's opium. Try and understand. Even I used a mobile many an hours a day. I also cannot live with it, but we can actually live with it. For the last 3 weeks, I was shooting at the hills, extreme hills of Sikkim, and there were no network. So I was, for 22 days, I was living a life without newspaper, without television, without network. And I survived. And how did I survive? I think I've created one of my best pieces of work that I've ever done in my life. Why? Because all this energy, all this positive vibe, that's there in you. It's all in you guys. It's not anywhere else. It's there in each one of you. Each one of you are bombshells. You do not have the inkling of what each one of you can do, what each one of you can live up to. The human mind doesn't know. It's only when you try and test yourself, you'll know how much, how many miles more you can walk as a human being. And that is exactly. You walk many miles as a human being alone, you do it for yourself. You become a successful human being. And you walk many miles in a group, in unity, as countrymen, as friends, together, and you'll do it for your country. I'll keep it to that short. Thank you so much.